That's what professional boxing is about. You gotta be clever, you gotta be smart, and not get hit.
It's what he does that makes him a hero, and what the other fellow doesn't do that makes him a coward. It's just as simple.
You could hit him, he can't hit you. That's what the science of boxing is all about.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the project Science of Victory. Today we are talking with the sports psychologist, Mr. Stefano Lopopolo, and the world champ, Vissia Trovato. Hello.
Good morning, everybody. Here we are at the ring gym with Maestro Farace. Here we are with Vissia Trovato.
Hi. In your opinion, what is the role of psychology in boxing?
I think the role of psychologist in boxing is really important because, as Cus D'Amato knew, psychologists can reach a good and high level of the boxer in the mind, because everything starts from the mind. When you think about self-confidence, about self-talk, you have to think before to act. So if you believe yourself, you will have a good result. And at the age of 15, Mike Tyson couldn't believe in himself at all. So Cus D'Amato did a good work because he saw in Mike Tyson the good talents, but he knew that he had to build the Mike Tyson that we know now and we knew when he became a world champ. So from the beginning until you become world champ is really hard work that you have to do. And everything, I think, in my opinion, is everything about your mind. Because you can dream it, but you can achieve it only when you do your homework in a mental training. You can dream and you can achieve it.
Exactly when I decided to pass pro, I did a small career, 3 years of amateur boxer, but we decided to work with Stefano because we thought that was the key for a real professional career. And it was like when I started working and training with training my mind as well my body, my style of boxing and my focus on the ring and everything changed in a good way. And as Stefano said, we achieve a lot of goals.
Yes, we always say that the minds and your thoughts arrive before your action. So when you think something, then you can imagine, then you can do what you want with your mind, and then you will find yourself on the ring with your action. But it's better to arrive there in that ring well prepared.
Cus D'Amato wasn't a professional boxer, but he could manage to rise 3 world champions in boxing. How it possible?
Yes, my opinion is that Cus D'Amato was really a smart person and really curious. So even when almost everybody said that he was not a boxer, I think he lived really much time in a boxing environment because his brother or somebody else, I don't know. But I think he was not, he had a really good knowledge of boxing. So that's why even when you know so much about boxing environment, you can be a really good trainer. So I don't think that can be that you are not a boxer, you've never been a boxer, but you live in a boxing environment, so you learn a lot from the boxer, from the other teacher, other coach. So it's, when you have some boxing experience, I think adds something. When you have not, I think you have to live in a boxing environment like me. I was born in a boxing environment because my father was a world champ, WBA, WBC world champ, Olympic medalist. So I did some box just for 2 matches when I was younger, like amateur, but I love box, so I can teach box. So I think when you live in a box environment, it's really a privilege.
Cus DAmato paid much attention to working with fear, and he said that a person can use fear in his favor. What do you think about it?
Fear, like Cus DAmato said, is not positive, it's not negative itself, but the problem is what you do with the fear, because some people run around the ring and somebody else became more aggressive. So the same emotion can change is the results. It depends about the person, how the athletes, the boxer receive the fear. So the problem is not the fear, it's what you do with the fear. It's any environment, ranking, or journalist or newspaper has some voice. It can put some fear in your soul, in your mind, and what you do. If you take this news in a bad way, you start to become more depressed, and your thoughts goes somewhere, everywhere. But the rules of the sports psychologist is take this fear and translate it in a new challenge. So I think fear is fear. Sometimes it's good. Some portion of fear is good because it's take yourself safe from some problem. If a lion come here, I start to run. That's fear. The results of fear is run. But sometimes the rules is really make you some worse things, some negative things, like not as a result is not the good self-confidence, positive speaks, and something like that. So Cus DAmato with Mike Tyson project some things about fear, like dress in a black way with black shoes, and also speak in aggressive way. So fear comes to the opponents, and this is a kind of psychologist game. So everything was really in a program. So I love Cus DAmato, how he worked with Mike Tyson in this way.
No, also fear means that you are aware of the risk you are going through.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you feel fear, maybe you can use it, as you said, in a good way. Like you can change the feelings and in a good weapon for you.
Yes, yes. Sometimes fear is also for the normal people is fear to lose, fear of the people, fear of to die. There are many kinds of fear. But for example, in some countries like Indonesia, when you die, they do a great party. In the South Italy, for somebody when something very close to you died, they dress in a black way, and you never get married again. So they finish almost their life. So the same feeling is in a different way, different results. So it's not about feeling, it's what you do with the feeling. This is good.
Mr. Lopopolo, in your opinion, what are the obstacles that prevent a fighter to become a world champion?
Every person is different, of course, but the rules of the trainer is to discover which obstacle is about that we're speaking about. Every athlete, every boxer is different, so there's not really a rules. But I think general rules of the training is to discover what's the obstacles and to move this obstacle, or to change, like we said, the obstacle is in a resource, is in a good way. So, for example, for Mike Tyson, when he was 15, I think he was really close person, really aggressive, and a little bit fat. So you have to discover little by little what Cus DAmato wants to reach. And the goal for Mike Tyson was to become the most young world champ. But to reach this goal, that is a good goal because everybody wants to be world champ, but you have to reach a little goal every time, every training, every week, every month, and every year. So little by little, Cus D'Amato was good enough to reach every goal with the movement, with the left hook, with the jab, with everything. And also in his mind, because in the beginning I got to remember that Mike Tyson was not really a good person because he was in a gang, he was in a prison, he lived in a prison for a while, and Cus D'Amato became a father for him. So I think that Cus D'Amato was the right person for Mike Tyson, and even when he was 15, he started to build a good character, because a strong character is everything. When you have some talents, even when I think the talents is something that is not really okay, that you have to discover. But when you have the talents, you need a really strong character, because if you have talents and not strong character, you can lose your talent. And your talent can give you any success, any results. Because I always do some example like this, that the character is like the branch of the tree, and the talent is the fruit. When the fruit is very heavy and the branch of the tree is not so strong, the fruit go down, fall down, and you lose your fruit. But when the fruit is really big and the branch is really strong, like your character, I think this, you will succeed. So the work of Cus D'Amato was to build little by little strong character. And the word character means also stone. You know the statues on the that we met in the place around Italy. We have many statues. They stay there when it's cold, when it's warm, with the raining, with the snow. Every time they stay there. So the strong character doesn't change about condition. When a strong character decides to become a world champ and to do the right things in a good way, he will succeed.
Also I can add that limits are only in your mind, as you taught me.
Yes.
And for example, from my experience, I wasn't born as a champion. Like, I became a champion because at some stage I started thinking as a champion. Of course, I did train as a champion as well. So I need a very good trainer, and we need the help of someone else like Stefano to add something to our team. But the problem was that before you start thinking that you are a champion, you will never be a champion. When you start thinking that you can achieve some goal, you could achieve that goal.
Yeah, sure. About those things, I wrote a book that the title is "The Worst Enemy is Between Your Ears." So in this, your brain,
Right.
your thoughts, and your meaning, what you mean with your success and your failure. So the worst enemy is
Yourself.
is against yourself. So the battle is everything is there. Then you translate in a ring and in life.
Cus D'Amato created a special style of boxing, the Peekaboo style. What do you know about this style?
Peekaboo style is really a good style for Mike Tyson, because he was not so tall, so he has to work like this. Because I love this this way of training, this way of boxing like this. And we have a joke, Peekaboo, because you cannot see the face, Peekaboo. So suddenly you can find his punch in your face, and it was really dangerous. And Mike Tyson was really fast, really heavy, and so this was explosive. And I think also when he moved around the opponent was really aggressive and devastating way. So I think Peekaboo style is really appropriate for him, and I love because it was really impressive. It was really powerful for him, especially for him. And he also was really fast. I saw some movies, some videos on YouTube when he's training, and he's training really serious. He's training with really successful. And what he trained in the gym, that's what he did on the ring, exactly what he did. Like us, when we train in the gym and we do many exercises and repeat and repeat and repeat, always in the same way, she found herself in the ring to do the same things in a powerful way, maybe with different style, but the concept is the same.
At the very beginning, when I started boxing, one of the boxer that whose videos I saw much was exactly Tyson. That's because I'm not very tall, I am differently tall, and usually my opponents are taller than me, but I am very powerful. So I used like a type of boxing which is kind of like it follows the idea of Peekaboo style.
You told me that you used some elements of D'Amato's technique and it gave great results. Please tell us about it.
Yes, of course. I saw many videos of Cus D'Amato, and I saw also the Willy bag. That is a bag that Cus D'Amato made for, especially for Mike Tyson, with some numbers, and they fixed the action in the gym. That's why we train the same level, the same way. But I add some things new because I add some technologies, some new idea, and because I believe in a cognitive part of this training, so we also add some vision training and many other things that we will show you. Vissia is very fast. She decides the order of the light together with me. Okay, how was this training?
Oh, this was very important for me. Training like the very in all the preparation before the match and the same day of the match as well. For me, lights are very important because they help me like activate my mind to be more more faster, more
yes.
fast, and it really helps also to be focused on like little spots and like what you see also not in the center of your image, but also to the angles.
Oh, yeah. All around. Okay. Yes, this is good, and this is the results that we recorded of Vissia. So it was good. And which one was the order of the light? Yellow.
Yellow, red, blue, and green and blue.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Vissia. Okay, here we have another kind of training with some picture, with some panels. It's also cognitive and visual training, because we have these strips, this line in the left and the right side. So the athlete has to stay in front, and he has to move, or she has to move the eyes, because she finished the line, and then we start with this one. She finished this line, and she has to start with this one. But you have to learn the meaning, because number 4 can be the left jab, and number 2 can be the right jab. And number 3 can be the uppercut, and then the other one. So you have to know what every number means in the same line with the accord with the athletes, and then he has to act, to watch, and to think. Number 4, I don't remember what is the jab. Okay, left jab. Number 2 is the other one, and every sign has a different meaning. And the goal is to read, to remember, to recognize, and to act. When this action became very fast, very close, this is a good result, because every time is different. 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 1, 1. So the action has to be really hard and really fast. When you read fast and you do that act, this series act, you can go in this line and to stay with your head really in front, and only the eyes have to work. And when you are in the situation in the ring that you are in a worst position because you are like this, but you saw the punch of the opponents arrive, then you can do the movement and you go with your punch. So this is a good exercise, because you see the possibility and the opportunity to act very soon. When your thinking is very fast, you act immediately. Okay?
Thank you very much. How would you assess Cus DAmato's contribution to world boxing?
Well, Cus DAmato left us a very big contribution and experience and a good way of working and good and new training. So I think we have to take everything that he left to us. And in my opinion, it was one of the bigger training in boxing. And of course, it was one of the most smart and one trainer that he discovered a lot of champions, but he did his work in a very good way. So I think Cus DAmato is one of the best in the boxing training. He had a good, bad time in that time when he was living in this earth, and now I have to appreciate his work again.
And to finish, I want to add that boxing, as many other sports, but especially in boxing, which is considered by most of people a single sport, actually is not. Like, the importance of Cus DAmato has, like all the other trainers, is that it's the 50% or like important percentile of the team that brings someone to become world champion. So boxing is not a single sport, it's a team sport, because inside the ring there is the boxer that only sees around 1 meter around him. And on his corner there is the trainer, like Cus DAmato, in my case Alfredo Farace, which see a lot more, and before together they program, they plan the technique and like all the match, and all together they create the results. In my case, my team is made by me, Alfredo, my trainer, and Stefano Lopopolo is my mental trainer. So like 33% for each of us are needed. So to become a world champion, you need a good team.
Yes, of course. I think you need the material to work on, like Vissia. She was a really good artist. And also important is the environment, so to have a good gym, a good person around you, positive person, positive people, and you have fun during the training, serious training, and also fun training. So the mix together, and to be also really focused on your training, and strong character, strong mind is the key of success. Okay? Thank you, Cus DAmato.
That's what professional boxing is about. You gotta be clever, you gotta be smart, and not get hit.
It's what he does that makes him a hero, and what the other fellow doesn't do that makes him a cow. It's just as simple.
You could hit him, he can't hit you. That's what the science of boxing is all about.